I come in.
Please.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Hi. So, can you tell me something about yourself?
Okay. Good evening, sir. Myself, Sarang Kothavade. I'm a grade 12 student at Podar International School, ICSC, Nehru. Currently, I'm pursuing commerce with mathematics. I scored 98% in my 10th grade board examinations. Apart from that, I'm also a professional badminton player, having played at national and state level competitions. I recently represented my school at the national championships and also won a bronze medal in the Maharashtra State Open tournament. And I also do a lot of MUNs and I've won awards at various prestigious MUNs like the Mumbai MUN. I won a special mention over there and a high commendation at JML MUN.
Okay. You play badminton, you mentioned, right? Okay. You play singles or doubles?
I play doubles mostly, but I represented my school in singles because we didn't have a doubles category over there. But usually I play doubles.
You play doubles. How is doubles game different from singles?
Doubles usually you need more speed. The doubles game is very fast and you need to change your thinking according to each and every move. In singles you can act a bit slow, but in doubles you have to be very fast. Your presence of mind is tested in doubles more. And you have to have teamwork with your partner, the coordination, that management with your partner is more important in doubles.
Okay. Which is the highest medal that India has won in badminton in Olympics?
So Olympics, we have won silver, which was won by PV Sindhu in 2016 Rio Olympics. When she won a silver medal, she lost to Carolina Marin in the finals.
Okay. And how many Olympics medal India has won so far?
In badminton, India has won 3 medals in Olympics. First was Saina Nehwal when she won in 2012 a bronze medal at the London Olympics. Then in 2016, PV Sindhu won a silver medal, and in 2020 Tokyo Olympics, PV Sindhu again won a bronze medal in women's singles.
Okay. So no men won any Olympic. Okay. But India's record have been good when it comes to the World Championship.
Yes, sir.
So what do you think could be the difference in, the Olympics as compared to the World
In the
Championship?
recent years, if we see, sir, in World Championships, India has brought a medal for the last 6 to 7 years, if I'm not wrong, continuously. It's because they're changing the training methods, the change in the coaches which we have for the national team right now, the facilities which are being provided to the players, the recovery experience which they're having. Basically, the BI, that is the Badminton Association of India, is it's planning more player-oriented strategies.
But the same player plays with the same coaches in Olympics also, right?
No, sir. If you see PV Sindhu, when she won the Olympics gold, she had a female coach from Korea. And when she won the Olympics, she had a male coach from Korea whose name was Park Tae-young. So, the coaches also matter. And in Olympics, if we see, so the mindset is also different in a World Championships, Olympics. Basically, the mindset is to win, but sometimes the court conditions are also different and all. They play a major role.
Okay. You mentioned that you had a special mention in the Mumbai MUN chapter. Okay. So what was the topic for that year?
I was in UNFCCC, that is United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, as New Zealand. So our topic was discussing about the climate change and its impact on SIDS, Small Island Developing States. So me being New Zealand, I wasn't a small island developing state, but I was a small island. So I basically researched and concluded at how New Zealand, even though it's a small island, how is it developing strategies to tackle climate change, and how is it helping the neighboring small islands like Fiji, Nauru, and every other countries, Palau and all.
Okay, you mentioned about your interest in maths and commerce
Yes,
and economics and aviation sector, right?
yes, aviation sector. I did a project on that.
All right. So, do you read about it?
I did a project for my ISC board. So aviation project we basically did on the low cost carriers and the current situation of Indigo, the situation it went through.
Right. So, tell me a little more about it. What was the crisis all about?
It was about Indigo running short on pilots and all because of the new DGCA guidelines and all. So the pilots, according to new DGCA guidelines, pilots need to have a fixed period of rest between two periods, and they have to have certain hours of, limited amount of foreign trips, and also it was related to that.
Can you tell me a little more specific?
A bit more specific. I don't know more specific about that.
So what was it called? What is FDTL?
FDTL. I'm not sure about it, sir.
All right. Do you think Indian aviation sector has a sort of monopoly?
I'd not say monopoly. There are certain big giants in the sector like Air India, Indigo, but Indigo majorly owns the 60% of the market share, as we know. Not entirely monopoly, but we can have a close competition like oligopoly and all we can say.
What do you mean by duopoly?
Duopoly, when basically there are two competitors in the market who control the supply and demand of the entire market by the production and the services they're offering.
Is duopoly good for the economy? Good for the country?
According to my opinion, sir,
In general.
in general, I don't know about it.
All right. Do you know about what are the steps that the government is taking to avoid the crisis that happened recently?
The Indigo crisis.
Yeah.
I'm not that well versed with it, but from what I have read about the crisis is that uh, it's the guidelines which are imposed by the government. It's like it has approved of two more new airlines in the aviation sector. I'm not entirely sure of the names of the airlines, but I read it somewhere that two more airlines are being introduced in the aviation sector by the Indian government.
All right.
What do you mean by commercial banks and scheduled banks?
Commercial banks are the regular banks like the HDFC, SBI, and all, which all report to a central bank, that is the RBI, and from which we all the borrow loans and all. And scheduled banks, I'm not sure about it.
Okay. So tell me something about the consolidation of public sector banks that happened around 2020, late 2020s, 2010s, around 2020.
That's all.
It's okay if you even tell me if you don't know him.
I don't know about it. I'm not well versed with it.
All right.
Okay, you have mentioned that you want to have a stronger base in economics to pursue econometrics.
Yes.
So how is econometrics different from economics?
So economics is what basically mathematical approach to the economic theories. And for that, I require a strong base in economics to understand the economic theories which I'm going to learn ahead in econometrics. So that's why I need a strong base in economics.
So where would you see yourself 5 years down the line after completing this program?
After completing this program, sir, I would love to pursue a master's degree in econometrics, first of all. And after that, I plan to do a job for a work experience. I plan to work as a research analyst or risk analyst in a good firm.
And not planning to do your MBA?
What?
Not planning to do your MBA?
I'm planning to do, but I prefer to do masters in econometrics, sir.
But are you planning to do your MBA?
I'm planning to do MBA, sir.
So then where will you use your skills of econometrics after you do your MBA?
So obviously econometrics will form an essential part of what I'm going to learn in MBA. I'm going to learn. It will help me to go to new executive positions and apply all the econometric stuff which I have learned in my role, whichever role I get after doing the MBA.
So what kind of role would you get after
Doing econometrics? Econometrics, after doing econometrics, I get roles operation analyst, risk analyst. Basically, all the analysis jobs will be open to me.
Okay, you mentioned that you like economics, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what will happen if the price of petrol increases?
The price of the petrol. First of all, so the demand for the car will go down because the price of the petrol is increasing. All the vehicles, the demand for all the vehicles will go down, and obviously basically that it will affect the demand of the related goods.
So you want to say that the petrol price has almost doubled in last 2 decades or something, close to that.
Yes.
But the demand for vehicle has gone 4x.
But at the same time, the income of the consumers is also increasing, right? So the demand is also going with that.
So has the income grown 4x?
Not 4x completely, but there's other factors also, like they're getting more loan facilities from the bank to borrow the cars and all, to buy the cars.
Okay. The luxury goods, okay, the cost of manufacturing the luxury goods is pretty low. But why the price is much higher for luxury goods?
There's a status symbol. So basically, the possessor of those goods, they get a status in the society, like they have that pride in the society that I have this particular brand, I have this particular good, so I have a high status. So that's why it's serves as that.
So let's say I have, iPhone 17 is available
Yes.
and iPhone 15 is also available, right?
Yes.
I can go and buy iPhone 15 with almost less than half the rate as compared to iPhone 17. Why is the demand for iPhone 17 is so high?
These are the
We are talking about iPhone, right?
yes, yes, yes. These are articles of Snob Appeal. So if you obviously have iPhone 17, and when you show it to others, your social status, it will like, among those people, they like this person has iPhone 17, and also you'll have that feeling of proud and prideness and all.
So you will not have that pride if the price is lower.
I will have, but obviously this compared to other goods, I'll have a feeling of superiority that I have an iPhone 17 while others are using iPhone 15.
So you will have, I mean, it's because of the status symbol you want to say,
Yes.
and any other parameter.
There might be, but I'm not well versed with those.
Okay. The price of any article or any good is decided on which all parameters.
First of all, is the cost of production of that uh, parameter, the raw materials and all. Second is the demand for that good in the market.
So demand for water is very high.
Yes.
But then why it is, the cost, the price, I would say that is so low.
So water is an essential good. So more or less, even if the price is more or less, people will have to buy water. It's required for the living of the person.
So they can increase, I mean, the companies can increase the price, right? Because it is essential good. They can definitely increase the price of the water. People will still buy it.
Yes.
So why it is so less? It's just 20 rupees per liter, you get it. And if you go for maybe 5 liter or 10 liter, it's just still cheaper. So why do company don't increase the price of water and have much bigger margin? Okay. If the price of commodities, the price of goods keeps on increasing, and if the wages are not increasing by the same percentage, what would happen in the country?
It would be, we can say it can be called as inflation basically, because there's a continuous rise in the price level of.
That's inflation, that's fine. But I'm saying what will happen in the situation when the price is increasing by, let's say, 15%, but wages are increasing by only 5%.
The standard of living of the people will obviously drop because they'll have to purchase. If I'm buying, as you said, iPhone 17, I will have to buy a cheaper phone because for it to fit in my income, because my income is not rising at the same level as the rate at which the prices of the goods is increasing.
But then it is true for everyone.
Yes.
So,
but we can say about the income disparity also, sir, in our country. So the rich will obviously, they'll not compromise on the goods which they are buying. Obviously, the middle class and the lower class, so they'll be affected by this.
so you want to say that the gap will increase?
Yes.
Have you read about the recent monetary policy, the latest monetary policy?
I haven't read about that, sir.
But do you know what is repo rate and what is SLR?
Repo rate is the rate at which the central bank lends certain amount of money to the commercial banks, and SLR is the certain amount, is the fixed rate of percentage of the assets like gold, cash, and other assets which a bank has to keep with itself to provide loans to the people.
So what are the current levels of these ratios?
SLR is a 18.50%, if I'm not wrong, and repo rate is it was earlier 6.5, but now it has been 5.25.
Right. So what could be a key reason for this?
For repo rate.
Yeah, for the change in repo rate.
It's because to facilitate the bank to lend more money to the general public, because it's the rate at which the repo rate is basically what it's the rate at which the central bank is lending loan to a commercial bank. If it's charging a
Right. So I understand it. Loans would get cheaper.
cheaper,
But how would that help the economy? What is the purpose?
it would. I'm not completely aware about it, but what I think is that it would help lead to more credit creation in the economy.
Okay. So all of that, but why?
I'm not sure.
Is that good for the economy to have, bank disbursing more loans to the common man? Is that a good sign for an economy?
Yes.
Everyone will have more money. So if everyone will have more money, the purchasing power will increase. So everyone will want to buy new goods, new house. That will lead to an inflation and higher inflation.
Yes.
So a higher inflation would again affect the people. So is that a good sign?
Not entirely a good sign, but up to a certain extent, the amount should be regulated, like till what extent the loan should be given and to who, what, all the people, like to who all it should be given.
As we had a discussion about your MUN participation,
Yes, sir.
you mentioned multiple times that you come in the third place and the second place.
Yes.
I have strong feeling that you are someone who settles for less. You don't fight to win.
It's not like that, sir. Every time I've come second or third, I've missed by slightest of margins. If you see the JML I got high commendation. I lost by 0.006 marks. It was,
But still it is second.
yes, sir. I go with the mindset of winning it, and I've been trying, no, I've been, every MUN I go with the mindset of winning, but sometime or the other, there's always someone better than me. I think I can do better, and whenever I'm going to participate in the next MUN, I'll surely try to win that
Okay.
And when are you planning to participate?
after my boards, sir.
So, any specific major changes that you've done in your strategy?
Yes. Earlier I used to do a very little research. I used to, be more reliable on the spontaneousness of me in the committee. Like what others are saying, I'll just rebut to them in the committee. But when I came third, I understood that to come first or second, I should, research more, go deeper into that particular agenda of that committee, and have a proper reading of the foreign policies of the country, because in MUNs, foreign policy play a major role. So when I came third, I lost because of violation of my foreign policy. Basically, I disagreed with the country who is my close ally. So that's why. So few changes which I did in my strategy was basically do more research, be more articulated in my speech, state more UN articles and all.
You have anything to ask us?
Yes. So I want to ask about the rigor in the academic course, and how will our schedule be if I get selected into the IIM Bangalore? How will our day? Yes, sir.
Okay, so obviously it will be very rigorous, and your lectures will start early morning, and it might go on to the late evening, depending upon the schedule of the faculties and the visiting faculties who will be coming and taking your lectures. Since you will be on campus, so the lectures will be scheduled probably throughout the day. Okay.
And given that this is a full-time program, you are expected to be on campus and available for sessions whenever scheduled. So sometimes there'll be sessions on weekends as well.
Yes, I'll do that.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, Sarang, basically, first of all, a feedback on your SOP, right? So, introduction, I think you mentioned about all those things, commerce, maths, MUNs, badminton, etc. So that was covered. But when we tested you on the things that you mentioned in your own introduction, you kind of stuttered a bit, or rather, quite a lot. Especially you mentioned the project Indigo crisis that has brought in basically that has kind of ignited your interest. So I think you could have a better understanding of that. Okay. Apart from that, a few pointers on your SOP also. I think you mentioned quite a few times my interest or my inclination in economics has developed because this. My inclination towards economics started because of this. So basically the same thing, the same line kind of coming again and again. It could have continued a bit better. So when you're mentioning this, or when you are kind of when you're asked any questions on your purpose or agenda, make sure that you don't keep repeating the same points, okay, while speaking at least. Yeah, basically Indigo crisis, monopoly, duopoly, I think you should have handled those questions better. Okay. And then we moved on.
You have studied this in your economics, right?
Yes, I'm studying it.
Huh? No, you would have studied duopoly and whether it is good or it is not good.
Not duopoly exactly, but we have studied monopoly.
Okay.
Okay.
We went on towards econometrics.
Yeah, we went on to econometrics and questions on economics and everything. So I think econometrics wala question you were able to, I mean, you answered it well. But then I started asking you questions on economics and not exactly the technical terms, but I started asking you about giving you hypothetical situation. What if this happens? Like petrol price goes up. Like you said that the demand for cars will go down. But what are the other possible outcomes? One is the demand will go down, right? Then there are various other possible outcomes, or I would say that effect of this is the cause, right? It's cause effect. So there are various other things that you should have spoken about. Then one thing you handled it well, that when I said that the price of petrol almost doubled in last 2 decades and the income has gone 4x times. So you answered that. Okay, the income has also increased and everything. So you have answered that well. Then I asked you question on luxury brand. The cost is so again, always there was one reason. I said the cost of manufacturing is low. Why do the luxury brand have the prices are high? You mentioned that is status symbol. There are a lot of other things involved. Like for example, for to have a best customer experience, purchasing experience. There are various other things involved also. It's not always about the status symbol. Status symbol is obviously one of them, but there are various other things which have been there in your course. So was expecting to answer that. Price and wage wala question, theek hai, you were able to answer again, but I countered you that if the I counted you here only, right? Where I mentioned that if the
Prices are
prices are
increasing
increasing,
and
it's
wages
related
are
to
decreasing,
inflation, and
right?
so again there was no proper answer to that when I countered your explanation. I think so. On the economics front, you were able to answer the question, able to handle the question which was related to what you have learned in your school. But then, hypothetical situation, if I was countering you, you did not have an answer to it. So, in your term, the rebuttal didn't work,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And yeah, मतलब वही अपना basically application. So for example, repo rate and all of it. Now, how does that affect inflation? So what was expected was that repo rate, basically reduction in the repo rate would make credit cheaper, which would in turn boost consumption and hence inflation. And because we also have minimum levels of inflation that we want. So that's why basically that is something where I wanted you to go towards. Although you went towards cheaper credit, but you stopped at that. So you could kind of apply.
I was a bit underconfident. I was like, if I'm saying wrong or something.
And apart from that, yeah, banking terminologies, scheduled bank and all of it. मेरे को लगा कि banking का course लगा तो you would have come across those things.
Scheduled banks I haven't particularly researched what
And yeah, current affairs also. Consolidation of banks and all not covered. So
It's current affairs, so
yes,
we.
maybe because you mentioned multiple times that in both the answers, in fact, that I've taken commerce and maths because that has allowed me to study my area of interest, which is banking and aviation.
Yes.
So because you mentioned that 2-3 times, I am expecting that you have to be very sharp at that. So you should probably be exceeding my expectations, but here you are kind of below par. So that's why that there they make the decision. Okay, so you need to kind of ensure that if you mention something so strongly multiple times, you are quite clear with the concepts in that sector and that area. Okay, even the current affairs, not smaller ones, but at least the major ones. Okay. Yeah, apart from that, we did not test you on the personals, your strengths, weaknesses.
Yeah, because there were a lot to test you here, so there was
Those are things that you could be tested in your actual interview. You need to work on those answers.
your strength, weaknesses, why I am Bangalore.
Yes, I've prepared very well on those answers.
But then your interview will not go the way you have prepared. You need to be prepared for anything. Because generally students are prepared for basic questions. Like tell me something about yourself, why economics, why IIM Bangalore, your strength, weakness, hobbies and everything. You never know like how your actual interview would be. So need to be prepared for any sort of interview.
And a lot of economic activity happening these days. All the news and everything. The FTA, big thing.
When is your
Free trade agreement, yes, with
when is
the
your
European
interview?
Union. 3rd February.
Make sure that you read the budget on second.
Okay.
It's going to come on first, right?
Yes, yes.
So at least the basic 3 or 5 basic, not the basic, the important highlight of the budget, you should have read it and known what is going to. Because I am expecting that everyone who's going to be there on second, third, fourth, IIM Bangalore panelists would ask me questions on budget because that would have been the most recent thing to happen. Yeah. Okay. Your articulation, language, and everything was proper. So no feedback. I mean, nothing to work on that.
One thing which I noticed,
Your
you
sitting
were
posture,
very nervous. So when you're nervous, you are
like,
playing with your hand a lot. So you can avoid that.
can you
Hey,
come straight?
focus.
Little.
Focus on your
Ha. See, this is the posture that you should be. You were like this, relaxed.
slouching a little. So don't slouch.
Need to have a straight posture.
And yeah, maybe try to not play around with your hands. It shows clearly that you're nervous or you're not very confident about your answers. So yeah, they are expecting that students would be nervous.
Yes.
That is expected in an interview for IIM Bangalore, surely. Yes. But not being able to, so they want people who can handle that. So yeah, basically try to be a little calm. Maybe if you're conscious about it when you are recording, maybe you could do a mirror practice or record your own video. When you look at it and you realize that how it looks, you'll become a little more conscious and you'll automatically stop doing that. So you can practice that way.
Okay.
I think that's all.
Okay. All the best for your final interview.